Hello and welcome to the channel. Some of you may have seen my previous video with a drone. It's the first time I've posted with a DJI Spark and I'm hoping to do a lot more in the future. Click on the link which is just about there if you want to see it. On the same day I was in South Tyneside at the mouth of the river at South Shields about 4:30 in the morning, and the sun was partially hidden, but there were great shafts of light beaming down and lighting up the sea. It looked fantastic, but it only lasted a few minutes and then it was gone. The DJI Spark did a decent job of filming it, but the highlights you can see were a little bit blown out, and I just wish that I'd taken images from my GH5 first and then flown the drone instead of the other way around. But hindsight is a wonderful thing. But I did get some images with the GH5, and today I'd like to show you how I edit them in Lightroom. I love black and white images, and sometimes, especially with this type of picture, if there's something in the foreground or the background or something of interest, a focal point of the picture with a colour, you can isolate that colour and have the rest of the image in black and white, and it's a very effective way and quite a powerful image. It's easy to do in Lightroom, and this is the way I do it. Okay, so here we are in Lightroom, and this is one of my raw images from Saturday morning in South Shields. And the first thing I'm going to do is straighten the image. So I'm going to use the angle tool in the crop display and go across the horizon there, and that is now straight. Before I turn off the crop tool, I'm going to crop the image. So I want to get my main point of focus across in the top third line on the right, like that, and I'm happy with that. That's perfect. I'm going to increase the balance so it's a little bit warmer, and also warm up the red tower, which is what I'm going to end up just having in colour. The rest of it's going to be in black and white. So I've just warmed that up a little bit. I'm going to increase the exposure because it's a bit dark. Looking at the histogram, we can see that it needs to be about there. Contrast I'm also going to increase quite dramatically because it will be a black and white image, and contrast does work better with black and white images. The highlights I'm going to reduce. The shadows I'm going to increase, so we've got some nice detail in those foreground rocks. Whites I'm going to just pinch up a little bit until, looking at the histogram, until the arrow comes on, which is there. I'm just going to back it off now to there. The blacks I'm going to decrease, so we've removed the arrow there in the histogram. I'm happy with that. And the clarity, I'm just going to have a little bit of clarity, maybe 10. Same with the dehaze, because that does add a lot to the clouds. So I'm going 10 on that as well. Vibrancy and saturation I'm going to leave, and I'm then going to go to the HSL colour setting. As opposed to using the black and white on the basic, I'm bypassing that because we don't want a black and white image. We want some colour in the tower, but black and white for the rest of it. So the tower's red. So all we've got to do is leave the red slider up and turn all the rest down. So we go to saturation and remove all the other colours. So starting at the bottom there, I'm just sliding down all the colour and just leaving the red image, and I'm going to increase the red to 25ish, well, round about 39. That's looking okay. And then just go back to basic just to check the histogram just gone up a little bit. That was probably because of the dehaze. I'm just going to bring that back up again to there. Then I'm going to use a linear filter to just bring the clouds out a little bit more. So I'm going to drag down, holding the shift key, and then if you hold the button and drag it down, we'll get a harder edged gradient on the sky, and the masking there will show you what part of the sky is going to be affected. I'm just going to drop down the exposure half a stop to about there's fine. Let's just have a look at the, might just go a little bit lower. Yep, let's go to there, because I'm going to bring out the tower with a radial filter. So that's brought out the clouds there, and then if we click on the radial filter, and I'm going to make a radial filter quite big, a big circle, and maybe a bit elliptical. And got to make sure the feathering is at 100, so we've got a really soft edge. And I'm going to increase the exposure on. We could have done this with a brush as well, but it's quite neat with the radial filter. So I'm just going to increase that exposure there by half a stop. Just move that around just to check. And that's quite nice. Now it's brought that up a little bit. If you did happen to have some more red in the image, all you do is use the brush tool, do a new filter, decrease saturation to 0, make sure you've got no feathering and you've got 100% flow with a nice big brush. Turn the masking on so you can see where you've been, and then just go across the whole of the image like this at 100% to remove any other colours in the image, like this. I can decrease the size of the brush. We're using the bracket keys to fine tune this area here. You don't have to be that precise, because I couldn't really see any of the colours, but there could be in your image, so that's how you get rid of them. And just obviously leave the tower. I could go into great detail and go way in there, but I've got no colours on that image, so I'm not too bothered. And that's it. We have now gone from this image, which is a raw image, to edited image there. So yeah, I'm happy with that. We've got a nice image, black and white, and I'll show you some more images. Well, that's the way I do it in Lightroom. It's easy, quick, and doesn't involve any masking or layers. Photoshop is far more versatile and gives you lots of tools to manipulate the images a lot further using selection and layer techniques. But if you want a quick and easy way in Lightroom, then this works just fine. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I hope you've learned something. I hope it's given you something to think about. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you want more like this, and I'll catch you in the next one.